Hey guys, it's Meg and welcome back to another sewing video. So this time we're making the outfit for the custom rainbow high that I did, and since it's October I figured it would be something spooky. This pattern I got from DG Requiem Arts on Etsy, who I will link in the description. I use a lot of their patterns and they're wonderful. So I started with doing the sleeves. They're the easiest to do, by running gathering stitches on the top and hemming the bottom with enough space so that I could shove a safety pin attached to elastic through the little channel. And I do this for both. Next is the collar, but instead of just folding over the edges to hem them, I actually created like a double layer, and I'm going to turn it inside out or right side out later on. And I sew around the edge of that. Next thing is to sew the darts on the bodice, and this is pretty straightforward. Just getting them kind of even is the difficult part. Next, I pin the collar to the bodice and sew that down. This is a bit fiddly at such a small scale, but once you get the hang of it, it's easier. So I made a mistake here in deciding to sew the collar down, and I didn't do that quite the same way when I remade this, because I did remake it. Sometimes we mess up and have to remake our creations, and there's nothing wrong with that. But basically, the collar wasn't deep enough. It wasn't wide enough I didn't add enough seam allowance, basically. So when I sewed it down, it became a little wieldy and stuck up in places. So yeah, don't do that. Next step is to gather the sleeves, add the elastic, and attach them to your bodice. So you ran a gathering stitch along the top of the each sleeve, and then you just pull your bobbin thread on one side and gather it. Once it's been gathered to match the opening on the bodice, you pin it down and sew it on, and you do that for both sides. Attach your elastic to a little safety pin and push it through the channel. When one end gets close to the edge, pin it down, pull it the other way, out the end, pin that down, and then sew it. Repeat on the other sleeve. Now it's time to close up the side seams and hem the bottom. A quick try on the doll so you can measure where your closure is going to go for the back, and all in all, this is cute. However, I did remake it. The collar doesn't sit how I like it, and it's a little small, so otherwise, pretty cute. And it's on to the pinafore. I start by sewing together all of the panels for the skirt, and once all the panels are together, I take a moment and hem the bottom of the skirt. Next, we sew the black panels together at the top on each one. And like the pattern instructions say, I only sew down about 6 stitches and then backstitch. Once they're all stitched together, I flatten down the colored panels on the back and then hem those down. This is just a personal preference, you don't really have to do this. Once the skirt is all finished, it's time to start on the top part of the pinafore. This is pretty straightforward. If you've sewn before, you just sew the panels together. I lined mine. Then I attach the top of the pinafore to the skirt, fold over the excess, sew down, and trim the excess. Now it's just time for closures. And everything's all done. I got the shoes from one of the Rainbow High blind boxes. My friend Angela made the purse, and I just had the hat. All in all, I'm pretty happy with how she turned out, and I redid her hair. I hope you guys are enjoying your spooky season. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.